Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Action resuming Europa Cup and also Europa Conference League as they'll be playing in different stadiums across Europe. We're looking at that particular story. I have with me Ibrahim Yusuf. Good to have you.
Always nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
You look yellow. Okay, let's start with this quickly. Let's run through some Europa League fixtures and also Europa Conference League. Let's start with the Europa League. We'll be looking at the Europa League fixtures. Actually, little match will be coming up. We start with Zurich against PSV Eindhoven. Where big one between Arsenal and Bodo Glimt. You have Fenerbahce against Larnaca. Reims will be playing against Dinamo. Razgrad Ludogorets, they play away to Helsinki, that's in Finland. AS Roma versus Real Betis. Big match there for Jose Mourinho. Malmo FC of Sweden against Union Berlin of Germany. And Sporting Braga versus Union Saint-Gilloise. Still talking about the Europa League now. We look at other fixtures. Well, actually, it went down. The brother will be going down tonight. Omonia Nicosia, the team from Cyprus, against Manchester United. Manchester United, we know, but last weekend they lost against Manchester City. Would they be able to redeem their image against the Cyprus team, Omonia Nicosia? Our goalkeeper, that's Zoho, will be there. Let's see what Zoho will be doing against the likes of Sancho or Ronaldo. Sheriff Tiraspol against Real Sociedad. You have Storm Graz, Lazio, Feyenoord, Midtjylland, and you have Olympiacos. Olympiacos will be playing against Karabakh of Azerbaijan. Nantes play away to Freiburg, and Red Star Belgrade from Varosi of Hungary. Trabzonspor play away to Monaco. And all these matches, Ibrahim, in the Europa League, you can look at. Some of them are so outstanding that you'd be like, oh, this team, they don't play in this league before, but things have changed.
Yes, exactly. Things have changed. And that's the beauty of the Europa League. I mean, like, and the Conference League as well. You have teams that normally you will not see, teams that you will not normally hear of, coming into the stage and actually strutting their stuff, which is a good thing, so that we can have the inclusivity that we've always been talking about. We have teams from Cyprus, from Azerbaijan, from Albania coming into the fray, so that they can actually get some of the revenue, of course. It's because it's a money spinner, and it makes it lots of difference for these clubs, the kind of money that they get for being on the European stage. So I think that is one of the good things about the Europa League. It gives these lesser known teams the opportunity to go out there and showcase their stuff. Not actually to be there to win it per se, but go out there and at least put their name out there, which is a very good thing for them.
A very good thing for them. Well, the likes of Zurich will be playing in the game, and also you have Arsenal will be fighting out. But for Manchester United against Omonia Nicosia. I look at that game. I don't know if Zoho will be will be keeping for will be at the goal for Omonia Nicosia.
But I think it's an opportunity for Manchester United to appease their
fans,
because they were obliterated by Manchester City at the weekend. I mean, like, I'm not a Manchester United fan, but I felt sorry for their fans. The way and manner that they lost. It's not that they lost, because really the gap, the gulf in quality is actually there for everybody to see. I knew a lot of people knew that Manchester United could not survive that match, but they were completely obliterated. I mean, like, they got totally hammered, and I was really sorry. I felt sorry for them at that game. So I think this is an opportunity for them to actually go out there and appease their fans. Give a very good account of themselves, get a boatload of goals if they can, so that their fans can know that, okay, fine, we're still here and we're still doing something worthwhile. And I think this is a tournament that they can win. And it's to be a good win, and it will be a good thing for them, because, well, they're not winning the EPL. They're really not winning that. Maybe they might have a good run in the FA Cup or so, but really they're not going to win that, and nobody's expecting them to. But they can actually go a very long way in the Europa League and probably win it. So I think this is an opportunity for them to appease their fans, let them know that they're still there and they're still kicking, and they can still play open, attractive football, and of course get the goals as well, so that the stigma of that loss or that capitulation, so to speak, to City will wash away a little bit.
Well, but I really look at Manchester United. Someone has a question: what is really wrong with our squad?
Well, I think it's a mentality issue. I really think it's a mentality issue. I've said this before, even before Ten Hag came in. I always say this. I think it's a mentality issue. Manchester United are actually in a very dark place right now, and I think it has to do a lot with what's going on in the players' heads. It's not that these guys cannot play football. They have excellent players. I mean, like Bruno Fernandes, when he came into the Premier League, he took the Premier League by storm. we know his capabilities. All of a sudden, he has suddenly went quiet. We know what Marcus Rashford can actually do. We know that he
also went quiet.
He has the capacity, exactly, and he also and he has died down. Ronaldo is on the bench, he's sulking every time.
But to be candid,
Yeah.
I still don't understand, because I saw Roy Keane complaining that Man United are actually dealing with Ronaldo one way or the other. He's not happy with that, for the fact that later. Rashford, Eric Ten Hag was saying, out of respect, if we don't want to play him. But Keane was like, why don't you play him first?
Exactly.
Why don't you
does he start?
Why don't you start him if you are really respecting him?
Exactly.
Until when everything has gone.
If you respect him and you actually believe he can do the difference, then you should be able to start him. He should be starting. You know, not to saying you can't bring him in when you guys are losing 6-1. It doesn't make sense. Start this guy and then see what he can do. He stopped this guy from leaving. If you knew he was not part of your plans, you should have let him leave in the summer, because he wanted to. Everybody knew Ronaldo wanted to. He should have
kept him against his will.
You kept him, and now you're not playing him. I mean, like
Keane was like, this is disrespectful.
If that is not disrespect, then what is? Really, a player like Ronaldo, yes, I know we know he's approaching the twilight of his career right now.
But at least he can still deliver.
He still has a lot to offer. He still has a lot to offer. I've always said this: convert Ronaldo to a number 9 and see the kind of damage that this guy can do. Because he has the pace, he has the skills, he has.
I know what actually went wrong. You know, immediately the player, those Sancho, Langa, immediately started scoring to him. I can do away with these guys and all that. But really, it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. I mean, like, really, you need a person who can actually go out there and make a difference. Ronaldo is still that man. He can still do that for you. And you keeping Ronaldo on the bench, I think that is the height of disrespect. I'm not talking about saying you can't bring him in when you're losing 6-1 because you respect him. Let him start the game if you truly respect him, because he's a person that can actually do that. If he starts Ronaldo today, nobody's going to ask Ten Hag, why did you start this guy? Because he's Ronaldo. We all know what he can do. Well, unfortunately, it's not working out. And maybe if they can find a solution for him in January, he can actually go and have a very good end of the season for himself. And going in a World Cup here, I think this is not very good.
Not too good for him, because he'll be going to the World Cup and everything is looking so bleak, kind of.
Exactly.
He's not happy.
You're not getting playing time. You're there sitting on the bench chatting with Maguire. I mean, like, it doesn't make sense.
Why do you add Maguire now? Oh my goodness. We've been looking at Europa League. A lot of matches will be coming out there. Although attention moved to Manchester United for the way they've been playing, and also their star man, that's Ronaldo. He really needs to leave that club. If everything should go well, maybe January, although news came out that they might just be going against his will again by not allowing him to go. But really, Roy Keane has spoken that they are disrespecting him. If you don't want to use him, then let him go. Well, we've been talking about that. Now, quickly, let's also look at some fixtures in the Europa Conference League. That's the top tier now when it comes to UEFA competitions. Heart of Midlothian against Fiorentina. Riga's footballer scholar, that you see these names, you want to play football. When Riga's footballer scholar playing against Istanbul Başakşehir, Anderlecht, wow, what a team then. Anderlecht against West Ham United, FSCB against Freiburg. We have Lech Poznan playing against Israelis, Apol Beersheva. Villarreal, they will be playing against Austria, Vienna, while OGC Nice will be away to Slovakia. FC Cologne against Partizan Belgrade. Still looking at Europa Conference League fixtures. Let's take the other ones now, as they will be fighting for honors in the Europa Conference League fixtures now. Well, while those matches are coming up, the Dnipro will be fighting against Vaduz, Apollon Limassol, against Eichmann, AZ Eichmann. I remember Pius Ikedia playing for that team. Molde against Shamrock Rovers, Djurgårdens against Ghent of Belgium, Sivasspor, that's where Ahmed Musa moved away right now. Sivasspor, I think that's the team he moved to rather. That's the team of Ahmed Musa. He's currently joining them there. If not for injury, right, he will have been playing for that team. Well, we wish him the best. Sivasspor against Balkani and Slavia Prague against CRA Cluj. Pionik against Giris of Greece. They have FC Basel of Switzerland hosting Slovan Bratislava. Those are the matches that will be coming up also in the Europa Conference League fixtures. If you look at this, like I said, when you look at this team playing, most of these teams, at least they are happy that they are here.
Yeah.
They are going to make some money too for their clubs.
Exactly, they're going to make some money because they're going to get a share from the TV revenues, and at least you're talking about them now. Under normal circumstances,
nobody remembers
have
them.
known them. Exactly, you would not have known them. You don't know these teams from Georgia, these teams from Azerbaijan, from Albania. You don't know these teams, but at least now you're talking about them. When next you see their names, you know that okay, I've seen these guys before, and I know who they are. Maybe in a few years you might see some of these teams actually going to the Champions League, and you'll be surprised when they get there. I mean, like teams like Ferencvarosi. I mean, like they were
the Hungarian
exactly.
team.
They used to be a part of this group.
Big club in Europe then.
You understand? So, but now they're coming back. You see them in the Champions League, in the Europa League. You know, so most of these teams, some of them you might actually you see teams like Partizan. Teams like Partizan, they have fantastic European pedigree. They've actually been there before, and all that. And
Partizan Belgrade. I remember that terrible West played for them there.
So you can imagine some of these teams. I mean, like Austria Vienna, we all know Villarreal. I mean, like Nice are there, Fiorentina.
Samuel Chukwueze.
You understand? Fantastic European pedigree. So these teams fell off, but you can still see them coming back, and all of these Rigas, Footballer, Scola, you might see them in the Champions League in the next 5 years.
You look at that Heart of Midlothian. When you look at the name alone, they want to take you back to those adventure movies.
Exactly, it's like something out of a storybook. You understand? But they're actually there.
Existing.
But I think the standout match will be Anderlecht West Ham. These are teams that we both know. We all know these teams. It's surprising that you can find them. This could actually be a Champions League game.
Seriously.
You know, it actually be a Champions League game.
Then, Celestine Bayern and all of them.
Anderlecht, fantastic team. I mean, like absolutely fantastic team. You have lots of good players come through there, and they can actually do that. And West Ham United, we all know what they can do in the EPL. So I think that's the standout fixture when it comes to these round of matches.
This round of matches now, we're giving you some fixtures from Europa Conference and also Europa League there, where they'll be fighting for honors tonight in the category of matches they'll be playing there. Now, let's quickly run through some stories in the world of football, where Nottingham Forest face competition from Leicester for Rafa Benitez as their new manager. Well, from the way it is now, Leicester City are also interested in the Spaniard. They want to get him. Nottingham Forest also are not dropping the bet, and they want to also get him if they actually do away with their own. Well, Ibrahim, Rafa Benitez is now the coach that Leicester and Nottingham are actually going for. A coach that used to be with Inter Milan, Real Madrid. What has happened?
Rafa is a good manager. He's a good manager, but I never really liked Rafa. I never really liked him. I mean, like, he did a fantastic job at Liverpool. He was, just like you mentioned, he was at Real Madrid,
Inter.
He did a stint at Chelsea as well.
Yes, Chelsea.
You understand? I mean, like, these are the caliber of teams that we were used to seeing Rafa Benitez manage. But just like we spoke a lot of times on this show, you need to remain relevant. I mean, like, when was Rafa's last job? You can't remember the last time you heard about him when it comes to European football. So he's been out there in the cold, in the wilderness, and, well, right now he needs to grab at the next job that he can get. And if coming to pull out a rescue job in Forest or Leicester is what's going to bring him back into reckoning in the European game, I think he should take it with both arms. I mean, like, it's not something that he should run away from. Would he be able to do a good job? I really don't think Rafa is the kind of person that you look to when you're trying to avoid relegation. For a team like Nottingham Forest, I think they should have gone for somebody more seasoned in the art of escape. Someone like a Big Sam.
I mean, Allardyce. Allardyce is a professional.
Exactly, he's a professional escape artist. I think that is the kind of person that they need. With the boatload of players that they bought, with the huge amount of money that they spent buying these players, they can't afford to go down. So I think they need somebody who has a certain level of certainty that he can remain in that division. And I don't think Rafa is the man for them to do that. I think they need somebody in the mold of Big Sam and maybe Neil Warnock. I think he has retired or something like that. But they need somebody like that who has that experience when it comes to escaping. And those are the kind of persons that they need. Leicester, I don't know what's wrong with Leicester. What the way they got it wrong. They sold a lot of players. They haven't replaced them. I think the purse strings are a bit tight now, and they're not willing to spend. But they need to, because if they don't, they're going to get into trouble. Forest have done the exact opposite of what Leicester have done, and they're all in the same boat now. They bought a boatload of players for a huge amount of money, and they're not cutting it. Leicester sold a lot of players and didn't buy anybody, and
it's not working out.
So you understand. So they have to find a way to strike the balance. You need to buy the right players, bring in the right guys at the right time, and then you can have the blend that you want. But I really think if you want to escape relegation, Rafa Benitez is not the man that you bring in. You bring in somebody who has actually been there before, maybe like Nigel Pearson or Big Sam.
Maybe Alan Smith.
Yeah, exactly. You need guys who have actually been there in the thick of things.
Yes.
The guys that have actually been there when it's squeaky bum time and in the season. These are the kind of guys that you want on your bench. They will get you those draws that you will require that you get.
You stay on. You will not drop
get
from
to that
the
40.
EPL.
Get to that 40 points and you still hang on. Then you can do away with them next season and bring somebody else.
Well, from the way it is, Nottingham Forest, well, we'll be talking about that in the next one. Let's look at this one that has to do with the St. Mary's team. That's Southampton. Southampton could actually sack manager Rafa Benitez too, because it's not going well with that team now. So much poor performance coming from Southampton, and they could actually do away with him.
And I think Southampton didn't buy well this season. They didn't buy well to strengthen the areas that they are lacking this season. And I don't think all the blame should be on Hassan Hutzl. I mean, like when he came to Southampton, they were nowhere, and he did a very good job.
Fantastic job keeping them.
To keep them in the division, to keep them stable. He got some very good results along the way. Yeah, even though there were some results that they got absolutely hammered, but still he did a good job. They've got some good results for the past couple of seasons. So I don't think sometimes these clubs. I mean, the manager just pays for the inadequacies of the club management. If you don't spend money, you don't buy the right players. Sometimes it's not about buying. It's about buying the right players. If you don't buy the right players, if you don't invest the way you're supposed to invest, then definitely there's something's got to give. And unfortunately, it's the manager that goes. So I think if Hassan Hutzl gets sacked by Southampton, he's just going to be a victim of the inadequacies of the administration and not really from his own particular standards.
Well, we've been talking concerning the Southampton team there. Well, right now, an irony, let's look at the fact that the man that could be sacked over there at Nottingham Forest could actually take over at Southampton. That story says Nottingham Forest boss Steve Cooper is a potential candidate to replace Hassan Hutzl at St. Mary's. What a way to go.
Yes, we spoke about this earlier, and we're talking about it might not work in this particular place because of something.
And it could work here.
And it could work here because maybe the politics involved, policy of the administration, maybe even the players themselves. I mean, like your relationship with the players, it might not work here, but it can work somewhere else. You know, we talked about Lopetegui leaving Sevilla, coming to Wolverhampton and see if it can actually work out because he was sacked there and he couldn't do it. A lot of people actually leave their clubs or get sacked from their positions, go to another club, and you can see them making a difference. So I think that is what Southampton are looking towards. Steve Cooper couldn't cut it when it comes to Nottingham Forest. Maybe he can come and do a job for them there, but I really don't think they need a manager in the mold of Steve Cooper right now. I think they need somebody else who can come in, steady the ship, give them solid performances, shore up the back line. So to start from there, go back to the basics, and then you can actually move on from there. But if maybe they've seen something that we haven't seen, but I think Steve Cooper is not really the right man for the job at Southampton.
Well, from the way it is, it seems it will be kind of a round issue there, where from Southampton to Nottingham Forest and also Leicester City. Now let's talk about a particular player. His name is Musiala, young player, 19-year-old player right now, has been spotted by Liverpool. They could actually go for him if they fail to sign Dortmund Jude Bellingham. Bellingham has been the subject of discussion from Liverpool. They want to go for the England player, but if they cannot get him, they will go for Jamal Musiala.
Brilliant player. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, like, seeing this kid play a lot of times, and
I would even prefer they should go for the Musiala than Bellingham.
Really, because I've been really impressed with this young man. I mean, like, he's someone who his technical ability, actually, his age. He's too mature for his age.
For his age,
you
yes.
understand? He's too mature for
at
his
19
age.
And he's playing.
His technical awareness, his tactical ability, I mean, like this boy, he can only go from strength to strength. I mean, and look at how young he is. I think you put them side by side and ask me to choose one. I mean, like Bellingham will not be my first choice. I will take Musiala over Bellingham because of his tactical awareness and all the room that he has to grow. Yeah, they're two different players. They play differently and the rest of it. But if you ask me to choose, really, I will not choose a Bellingham. I don't know whether I'm a bit biased towards Bellingham. I don't know if I have some reservations.
Or maybe because of, normally we know how the English press hype.
Yes, because I don't think he's as good as people are making him out to be. I've seen him play. He's a good player.
But not up to that.
He's not a great player. It's not something that we haven't seen before. He doesn't play anything out of this world. He's a good player, yes. He's a good player. He can go in there and he could do a job for you. And for his age, is a fantastic buy. If you can be able to get him through the door, he'll give you some years there, and maybe, and of course, he will improve. He will learn. He will get better. But as people are looking at him now, and I really don't see him as that great a player.
So for your best option, Musiala should be the one.
I think I will go for Musiala any day. Any day, because I've seen both of these guys play, and really, all day, every day, I'll choose Jamal Musiala.
Jamal Musiala, interesting Liverpool there, although if they cannot go or get to sign Jude Bellingham, the English player that plays for Borussia Dortmund there. While we're still looking at some stories trending in Barcelona, finally, they've agreed to allow Antoine Griezmann to stay with Atletico Madrid for 20 million euros. He has been on loan to the Wanda Metropolitan team, but right now he's going to be with them permanently, £20 million, half of the amount they actually plays on his head. At least I'm happy for them. He's back home fully now. He was with them before. He moved away. He moved to Barcelona. It didn't go well. He had to come back, find his way back to Atletico.
I remember when Griezmann made that move to Barcelona. I knew I said it. I knew I actually made that point that it was a wrong move. It really was not a move that Griezmann was supposed to make. I mean, like going to Barcelona at that time was not a good move at all, and it turned out not to be. It really turned out not to be, and unfortunately, it happened like this. So I think him coming back now to Los Colchoneros, I think is a good move for him. I think he enjoys his football better there. He's received better there because he never really got to get in with the Barcelona fans. They never really liked him when he got there. When he got there was these problems with Messi and whatnot, and it was all really not very good for him. So it was a bad move all round. So I think having to come back, even though Barcelona are taking a hit for when it comes to the amount, I think coming back to Atletico Madrid, playing at the Wanda once again, I think it's going to be the best move for Griezmann at this particular time in his career, because I think he will enjoy his football better than when he was at Barcelona, because it was not working in Barcelona. It was not working at all.
Good one there. Griezmann is back finally with that's wonderful team that talking about Atletico Madrid. Metropolitano is the place for him to be celebrating himself. He's so used to Diego Simeone and the remaining lads there. Good one for Antoine Griezmann. And quickly before we go, West Ham United, midfielder Declan Rice will be Chelsea's top transfer target in 2023. Well, coming from Chelsea there, they want to get Declan Rice, and he is their top target for 2023 transfer window. Arsenal are monitoring Marcus Rashford's situation at Manchester United. They want to see if they can sign the player from Manchester United. Well, he has not been having a good time, but Marcus Rashford, if Arsenal can go for him, they'll actually get him. Let's see how it actually goes now concerning Marcus Rashford, who is not having a feel of time over there at Old Trafford. That will be it on 360 Sports this hour. Ibrahim Yusuf, thank you very much.
Always nice to be here, Denny.
Let me tell you, Musiala to come and
yes, I think if he needs a new agent, I think I'll be interested.
You want to be his agent?
Yes.
That will be it on 360 Sports. I am Denny Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.